Welcome back, students. So let's discuss about what is image processing. We have seen how we represent image as a matrix, and now we are going to see what is an image processing. So, as image processing is a method to perform some operations on an image. First of all, we should know that image processing is a method or steps of methods by the which we can transform one image to another image in order to get an enhanced image or to extract some useful information from it. So image processing, basically we follow some steps, and by following those steps we are going to transform one image to another image, or what it should be. The second one is to extract some useful information from it. So nowadays image processing is very common, and it has a very huge role in computer vision. Computer vision is totally based on image processing. So we extract useful information from images by using computer vision techniques and by using artificial intelligence, neural networks, artificial neural networks. So these are all different techniques in image processing and artificial intelligence to get some insights from an images. And the second point is it is a type of signal processing in which input is an image, because signal processing, because we are uh, talking about image processing. So image processing is somewhat similar to a signal processing field, and signals are also represented in a continuous form, or in a discrete form, so that image is also representing in a digital form or an analog form. So it is somewhat similar to signal processing, and output may be image or characteristics or features associated with that image. Image processing is among rapidly growing technologies. As I said, it has a very good role, a very huge role in computer vision, in artificial intelligence, uh, and so many fields. It forms core research area within engineering and computer science disciplines too. Now, it has a very good area in engineering and other disciplines of computer science as well. So how we process an image, as I said before, image processing is basically some steps with the help of which we can enhance some image or get some useful information from an image. So what are those steps are? Image processing basically includes the following three steps. The first step is importing the image via image acquisition tools. There are some tools with the help of which we can get image and import that image. And then the second one is analyzing and manipulating the image. How we analyze and manipulate the image, this is all about where computer vision has a great work, analyzing and manipulating the image. And then output, in which results can be altered image or report that is based on image analysis. Image analysis has a very good role, a very big role in healthcare industry, by using different images of cancers to diagnose cancers, whether the cancer is benign or not benign. So we analyze some image, we mark some areas on the image, and then from the database we can check whether this image is similar to that image or not. So analyzing and manipulating the image is the core area of computer vision. So let's move on and see. There are two types of methods used for image processing. One is called analog image processing, and the second one is called digital image processing. So analog image processing can be used for the hard copies like printouts and photographs, and digital image analysis used for digital copies for the image. An image analyst use various fundamentals of interpretation while using these visual techniques. So who perform this image analysis? If there is a human, then that human is called image analyst, and computer is also perform this task. And nowadays computers are performing this task of image analysis. So, and these are visualization techniques. Digital image processing techniques help in manipulation of the digital images by using computers. So when we said that we are processing images digitally, it means that we are incorporating digital computers to interpret those images. So the three general phases that all types of data have to undergo while using digital techniques are pre-processing, enhancement, and display. So what are those phases or three general most usually categories? It is called pre-processing. And the second one is enhancement and display, and the third one is information extraction. So this is step number one, and this is step number two, and this is step number three. So in pre-processing, basically we are taking a batch of images and do some pre-processing like noise removal and data cleaning, etc., etc. And then we enhance those images by adding some extra information, and then we extract useful information, which is called information extraction. So what are those phases of image processing? The first one is acquisition. It could be as simple as being given an image which is in digital form. The main work involves scaling and color conversion from RGB to gray or vice versa. So we can convert colors from red, green, blue to grayscale, or grayscale from grayscale to RGB. And what is scaling? Basically, image scaling refers to the resizing of a digital image. So when we are resizing some digital image, we are scaling those images. So in acquisition phase, we always require some image in the form of different badges, and then perform two operations. One is called scaling, and the second one is called color conversion. So the second phase of image processing is called image enhancement. As I said before, image enhancement, it is among us the simplest and most appealing in areas of image processing. In this step, we enhance images by using some algorithms and so on. Also used to extract some hidden details from an image and is subjective. So in this image enhancement phase, we are not only enhance the image, but we also extract hidden details from an image, and it is subjective. And it is subjective. So let's move on and see what are the phases of image processing are. The third phase is called color image processing. It deals with pseudo color and full color image processing, color models, and are applicable to digital image processing. So first of all, we should know what is a pseudo color image or full color image. A color image that does not directly render the colors of original image from individual red, green, and blue color values, that is called pseudo color image. So in this color, we do not have a good combination of red, green, and blue colors, somewhat similar to grayscale or black and white. So that's why we call these types of colors are pseudo colors, because pseudo colors do not include RGB values, or but it includes, but not in a good combination. And full color image processing are applicable to digital image processing. So the fourth one is wavelets and multi-resolution processing. Uh, it is a foundation of representing images in various degrees by using different angular techniques. We present images by using wavelets and multi-resolution processing. It contains various angles and various degrees, so that's why we call wavelets and multi-resolution processing. And the fifth one is image compression. It involves in developing some functions to perform this operation. It mainly deals with image size and resolution. So you already have this concept which is called image compression. If the image size is too big and you want to transfer that image from one location to another, or moving images from for storage purposes, so in this sense you perform some image compression and then upload or transfer those images. So it mainly deals with image size and resolution, how we retain its image resolution and quality, but in smaller in size. So image process compression is a separate field in image processing, and it comes under the umbrella of digital image processing. The sixth one is morphological processing. It deals with tools for extracting image components that are useful in the representation and description of the shape. Morphology is basically a broad set of image processing operations that process images based on the shapes. So when we are processing images and those images are based on shapes, then we called it morphological processing. Processing of an image on its shape is called a morphological processing. So let's move on and see what are other phases of the image processing are. Segmentation procedure. It includes partitioning an image into its constituent part or objects. So when we divide an image into different parts, we call that partitioning as a segmentation procedure. In this procedure, we divide images into different parts and do our analysis easily. This is basically a divide and conquer strategy in which we divide image or partition image into different parts and then dig into those parts more deeply. Okay. Autonomous segmentation is the most difficult task in image processing. How we automatically segment an image so that overall distribution of the color would not be disturbed. So this is the most difficult task in image processing, which is called autonomous segmentation. Okay, after that we have another phase which is called representation and description. It follows output of segmentation stage. Definitely after the image has been segmented or partitioned into its constituent parts, that part is the output of segmentation stage, and choosing a representation is only the part of solution for transforming raw data into the processed data. So uh, how we make already partitioned or segmented image into a new image, because in this phase we break images into different parts and then do some enhancements. So after those enhancements, how we represent the new image. So this is all about representation and description. It is a separate phase. In this phase, we use already segmented images and then compose those images later on. Okay, so let's move on, and the final one is object detection and recognition. So this is also a very relevant field in computer vision, in which we detect different objects via surveillance cameras and then recognize their activities. It is a process that assigns a label to an object based on its descriptor. So the computer assigns a label to an object based on its descriptor. So these are all different phases of image processing. The first one is acquisition phase. The second one is image enhancement, then color image processing, and then wavelets and multi-resolution processing, and then image compression, morphological processing. So please remember those phases and try to understand what are these phases are in image processing. Okay, so there are some overlapping in the fields that are directly related to image processing. The first one is, as you can see, this is the block number 1, which is called digital image processing. Input is the image and output is image. As you can see, the output is also an image and input is an image. Image is the input and output is the image. So this is called digital image processing. And the second one is image. The input is image, and the task of computer vision is to display some description, which is called object detection and recognition. Object detection and recognition. We input some image, and it is the responsibility of the computer to describe that image. So this is a field which is called computer vision. So in the third block, this is the first block, and this is the second block, and this is the third block, and this is the fourth block. Okay, so what is image? Input is the description, and the output is image. So we are here, computer graphics. We input some description, and it is the responsibility of computer graphics engine to create a new image. Like in computer graphics, we write some code in OpenGL. Like suppose we are going to create a square. So that to create a square, we describe something in the form of the code, and then it is the responsibility of the engine, graphics engine, to render that written thing into a seeable seeing object. So that is called computer graphics. And the fourth one is the input is description and the output is also a description. So this is more relevant to artificial intelligence or machine learning, deep learning, etc., etc. So according to block number one, if input is an image and we get output image as an output, then it is termed as digital image processing, the first one. And the second one is if an input is an image and we get some kind of information or description as an output, then it is called as computer vision. Computer vision is a separate field and it is totally based on image processing and computer graphics. And according to the block 3, over here, the input is description in the form of written code, and it is the responsibility of the graphics engine to render that code into a seeing object. So this is called a computer graphics. And according to the block 4, input is description and the output is also a description. If input is description or some keywords or some code and we get description or some keywords as output, then it is termed as artificial intelligence. So as you can see, how much overlapping exists between different fields: digital image processing, computer vision, computer graphics, and artificial intelligence. These are all based on images. That's why these fields are very overlapping fields. So let's move on and see another important concept, which is called image synthesis. Image synthesis is the process of creating new images from some form of image description. So in computer graphics, we are use this concept which is called image synthesis, because we write some code and then the graphics engine produce that code in a visualized form. The kinds of images that are typically synthesized include test patterns and scenes with simple two-dimensional geometric shapes, and computer graphics, scenes or images based on geometric shape and descriptions, because scenes and images are always based on some geometric description. So that's why computer graphics engine creates those images or synthesize those images. Often the models are there three-dimensional, but may also be two-dimensional. When we are saying that it is three-dimensional, this means that there is a component which is called z component. Z component is always over in three-dimensional, and this is x and this is y. And two-dimensional contains only x component and y component. So what is called real rendering? This is also a very famous concept in computer graphics. A 3D modeling and photorealistic rendering of a project is developed in the software. If you have seen some softwares like CorelDRAW, Adobe Photoshop, AutoCAD, then the developer or graphics designer has some image and he transformed that image to that software. This 3D model is then image after creating the right texture, lighting effects and shadows to make the image looks very natural. So when we are using some software that is modeling 3D, that is modeling different objects by using 3D modeling concepts. So the 3D model, how it looks like to the original model. So with the help of using right textures, lighting and shadows to make the images look like more natural. So this is why what we call photoreal rendering. So effectively, photorealistic rendering architecture is the part of art of developing real life images of the projects created by 3D visualization. It is a very used nowadays. Different projects are created by using 3D visualizations, and those visualizations are very close to the original images, real life images. So that's why we call them photoreal rendering. So now let's move on another topic, which is called how we handle a keyboard events. So I hope that you have understood the basic concepts of an image processing, how we done image processing, and what are those phases of image processing. These are the basic concepts of image processing, and we are using these concepts in computer graphics as well. So let's move on another section, which is uh, handling keyboard events and mouse events with OpenGL. So almost all of the games use keyboard to control the objects, that is to move, jump, turn, and slide, etc. You are using different games, and you are using keyboard shortcuts to run those games. So keyboard events is essential part of game programming. There is a separate field which is called a game programming, and game programming is very close to OpenGL. All game development libraries support keyboard handling, and what are those events basically? So glut also has nice and simple functions that provide the facility of keyboard controlling. If you want to control your keyboard by using OpenGL, then you can do this by using glut or pre-glut predefined functions. GLUT provides different functions to handle normal key events like 1, 2, A, B, and escape, ASCII code, and special key events like up, down, and F1, etc. So GLUT or free GLUT provide different functions to handle these events. So no, you do not need to worry about how we handle events like if the one is going to pass on the keyboard, then how we handle this event. Okay, the first one, so this is the function which is called glut keyboard function. It is used to tell the Windows system which function we want to process the normal key events. So this is a predefined function in glut which is called glut keyboard function. And by normal keys we mean letters, numbers, anything that has an ASCII code. Every digit on the keyboard, every key on the keyboard has an ASCII code, so we can use those keys as normal keys. So what is its syntax? Keyboard function syntax, as you can see, void glut keyboard function, it takes a function as an argument, and the second argument is unsigned character key, integer x and integer y. So these four components, or these four arguments are taken by this function, where function, the name of the function that will process the normal keyboard events, passing null as a, we are talking about this area function. The name of the function that will process the normal keyboard events, passing null as an argument, causes glut to ignore normal keys. It will not process any function. It will not process any key. If we pass null over here, the function you use as an argument to glut keyboard function needs to have three arguments. So what are the three arguments are? The first indicates the ASCII code of the key pressed, the first character key ASCII code, and the second one is the remaining two arguments provide the mouse position when the key is pressed. The mouse position is relative to the top left corner of the client area of the window, and then the second one is glut special function, that is used to tell the Windows system which function we want to process the special key events. And the syntax of for this is as follows: void glut special function. This is also a function that process your keys information, and this is the key ASCII code, and these are the relative positions of your mouse. Where function, the name of the function that will process the special keyboard events, passing null as an argument, causes glut to ignore the special keys. So there are two functions that handles keyboard events: a special function and a normal keyboard function. So let's move on handling mouse events. So like keyboard, we have some mouse event functions. Glut provides a function which is called glut mouse function, which is responsible for detecting mouse click generated by a program. So what is the syntax? Its syntax is like that: Glut mouse function. Similarly, mouse function that will process this event. Integer button, which button is left or right, state, and integer x and y. Glut, okay, same function. So thank you. I hope you have now basic understanding of image processing and image processing phases, and how we handle keyboard events in OpenGL, FreeGrid library, and mouse events with FreeGrid library. If you have any questions relevant to this topic, you can email me on my official email address. And till your next lecture, Allah Hafiz. See you soon, inshallah.